that's okay. What we need, first of all, hello, and today we stream about a PWA Studio extension, and what we need an overview page and an article page, and I getting some small drafts from our designer team or from the designer team. I know it's really ugly, but I'm not a front-end developer, and I'm not here for writing front-end code, but some front-end designs are not so bad. So first of all, before we start, there are a good documentation about linear UI targets, and in this tutorial we will mostly extending routes and writing own components based on existing hooks or existing hook library for Contentful. Second possibility is rich content renderers, but then we need to integrate our Contentful as well for the backend and routing over Magento, and this is a little bit overkill for this requirement, because we want to have a headless commerce block integration, not writing our own Magento extension that fetches content from Contentful and put them back over Apollo to the front end. And this is a little bit more interactive tutorial. Hopefully more people will joining soon, and maybe I need to retweet this and see if somebody is joining me or not. So maybe it's a bad time. Yeah, but I think let's get this thing running, and people will watching hopefully the recording. And so what I did, I already create a Contentful space with some demo content. We have blog posts with some demo content in it. Also we have persons. This is in our design is our persons. And so okay, I think we want to start with an empty extension. For this, usually I starting in this directory, and I having here a scaffolded Magento already, and using my name because I want to publish it later on GitHub. We want a Contentful directory. So first thing, we need a init command, and typically I doing this over yarn init to don't forget something. So, and this is our name slash Contentful version 1, description empty. So sus intercept.js repo, we don't have current repo, and say my name as my name. So and a mid license, yes, private, true. So now we get an empty extension. So what I recommend is if you start with an extension Magento page builder, is using the same target pattern. So, and usually I take a look on it because the syntax is a little bit yeah, not strange, but unknown or not so good documented currently. There's a tutorial about static routes for sure. If you go in the tutorial sections and go to adding a static route, but this thing is written for scaffolded, yes, but not for our own extension, and we want to publish it later in somewhere. So for that reason, I create an intercept file. So first of all, we need a source, and then I will start with intercept.js. So, and as well here in the page builder module lib intercept, you see it's setting some special flags already, and you need this special flags for your own extension currently. There's an issue on GitHub we try to resolve, and I was yesterday working on this thing, but I don't get then the Webpack autoloader running as good, and because this special things register the module for Webpack autoloading or Webpack loading, and yeah, this is a problem. So, and oh, why my name? Interesting. Okay, let's do it with my name. That's okay. So, and also we need a route, and in this tutorial here we already having some route, and but this also using parse, and what I usually do is because we use yarn later, is I use my package name here as base. So, and now we can do this and this Contentful. And now we need to give a name, and I want to start with a block router, and so, and a block and a slug, and we splitting this later with components because we want to use from the library here, from the Contentful library, a Contentful provider, and to use this Contentful provider we need a central entry point, and this is much easier to implement if you are using one route for both, and then using components. You will understand what I mean later. And so, and now we need a Contentful, and typically in Magento we have under Linear root components, and the root components means a central entry point for a route, and for that reason I will also create a root component and give the name block.js, and using their const block props. So and now we get empty route component, because if you take a look on CMS or something like that, you see almost all following this pattern. So and now we need to return something here. And I know I want to use Contentful, so now I can return a Contentful provider. So and needs to import them. So and also we need a Contentful client. In the documentation here, they build in directly, but I don't want to do this. I want to have a util class and say Contentful client JS. So and there we need some export const. So and now we can go to tutorial and copy this. So and okay, now we see this reference is not defined. So what we need now is we need to go in our package here. We are in Illustratic PVD and adding this to our own extension to loading some data and etc. So and now we get a dependency. Also what I recommend, or what is really required, is you need peer dependencies, because you want to use some special things from Magento, and yeah, this means you need to know about this. So and I copy React, Redux. Maybe we don't need Redux. Let's try without Redux. Build pack. So and this should be all. So and now I can run a yarn install in Contentful. So okay, and there we are. So now we can import our Contentful client from Contentful. And these two things I want to having a special file. Two ways what you can do is first you can create a file like the .env file in your model. This we can do, and we want to have our own end file. So or we can also having some new JavaScript file and say Contentful config.js. So, and now we copy both and say export const access token equal and space. So, and now we having both. Yeah, we need an equal. Close all. Now we can replace this with access token from our configuration, and also we can use here the space and getting so, and now we import both, and this we can change later by our configuration. So maybe I do a local copy of it with a dot before. Okay, so okay, and now we have our Contentful client. So, okay, we know we want to have our Contentful provider here. So let's insert our Contentful client and save hello. So okay, and one recommendation, import your library imports here, and then we see it later. So, and Contentful client is this, and now what we can do with this, we have a route component and having a hello, a Contentful, and an intercept file. So now we need the path of this copy absolute path, and now we can removing all, expecting our module namespace and SUS. So this is all. Also maybe I want to replace this by my name, and I happy to get this thing. So okay, I have now an empty root. Now I need to install my extension. And second step is I need to configure our Contentful. So to do this, I don't want to share my private data here, or don't want to share my access data there. I do this via terminal. Okay, I will regenerate my configuration later. It's not a big deal. So let's delete anyway. Yeah, private data and streams are a thing for me. Yeah, but there's no a good way to doing something like this. So we have now a Contentful client. We have a config. We have intercept to intercept our route. So this end file we don't need. Okay. And this is all. Not really. What we need here is we need a dependency to our Contentful extension. So copy absolute path, and very important, use link. And second important thing is you need to have intercept here, intercept, and the main file needs to be exist. If not, you're searching maybe for days or hours to get your extension running, and this is really hard. So okay, now we have our extension installed. Yarn watch. Let's see if it works or not. Okay. Okay, let's do some troubleshooting. Why it's not working? First of all, we need to check is the package named as same as the package. Yeah, it is. So second is we have some dependencies. Oh, I found it. The problem was here in the intercept file. I use a wrong path to my intercept file, and this leads to this error because I defining an extension without resolving it, and this is a big problem. Currently there is no validation processing or something like that, and yeah, this leads to errors. And yeah, I also search sometimes if you're doing something wrong for a moment, because so, and now we get unexpected error. So okay, let's remove the Contentful thing from there, and I know what is the next problem. Export default from block is missing. If you forget this, it don't works, and also it works only with the default export currently. This is something what do you need to know. So live troubleshooting. Yeah, cool. So now we need two things there. First thing is we need a new component folder, and because Venia is as well structured like this, and I want to follow these guidelines from Magento, also from my own library, and so we have now components here. So, and what we need first, we need a root component, like an index or something like that, and Magento having also this, like a CMS block, and my idea is to have a block index.js, yes, and use export const block index props and using the export default block index, and then we need a return from h1 hello, I'm index. So to using this we need a React import here because we're using JSX. Done. And now we don't have a red line anymore. So, and what we can do is we can replace this with our block index. So, but we need an optional or a conditional rendering. To get a conditional rendering, we need our block page or our slug here, because we define here a slug, an optional slug, and if it's not defined, we need to render the index page. If it's defined, we want to render the detail page. So for that, Magento or React Router defines something like here use params from React Router. This is what we need in our component. So as already mentioned, oh, I didn't copy it. As already mentioned, I using imports like this and adding an empty line to my imports and library or vendor imports. So and now we can define const and unpack the React Router hooks stuff. So, and now we can add a conditional rendering. So, and for this we use const page content is slug slug so is slug defined. We need to create a new page. So, and now we can use our site content here, our page content here. So, and create a new folder. So first I want to follow the guidelines from Magento. I create block index and block page folder. So, and I'm moving so and adding this as block page jazz. If you take a look on this, you see Magento starts with an empty lowercase and then goes uppercase. So we need also a block index JS. So no, this was wrong. So now we have an index, and this we need to rename to block page and exporting them also. And I'm page. So and we know, okay, we want to have later our slug here from props. So for that we adding slug here from props. So now we can delete this. Delete anyway. So, and we can now define a file index .js. And Magento 2 does it all the time. It has in every folder a default export for one or multiple files to publish them. So, and then you don't need to know about, hey, what is the name of this file internally. You can only call the folder structure and this makes, from my point of view, many things much easier. So close all. So, and now we know, okay, we have a blog page that gets props equal slug. So we need to wrap them by double curls. And collapse empty tags. So, and now if I'm using here, I'm page, now I can use a slug here, or the slug here. So, okay, we get an error. Why we get an error? Because index doesn't exist. Okay, but we import index. Hopefully it's fine if I make a 1 or 2 minutes break. I will be back soon. Oh, Jordan was joining. Hey man. I did a mistake, but I don't see it. No, add a file, open components, plug index.js. Why? I have here default plugins. Oh, there's an error. Nope. He don't find my module. Strange. remove the conditional rendering, but I think it will also not work. Okay. Sometimes it happens that you see an error like mine before, that he doesn't find a component, and then the yarn link was not working well. I don't know when it happens, but sometimes you're having a strong error or a strange error, but you don't know where it comes from. Maybe sometimes the hot reloading don't work. I don't find it out currently. Maybe I need to open a bug report for this behavior, because if you're developing an extension, in my case, and the hot reloading doesn't work well, I don't know. Hello, I'm a page, but the Slack is empty. Okay, let's do a check. Okay, the props don't work. Let's see what I get there. Props. So, and It's undefined. Let's use Slack. Okay. This was the error. Sorry. I did here the parameters needs to be named as slug, not a wrap with slug. So hello, I'm index. Hello, I'm slug page. So okay, what we need next in our module or in the module documentation is from Contentful is written down that we need we have now a client and we have a provider. Now we need a hook, and our hook can be something like this, and or our page. So, and now I'm starting in the index. Both are really similar, and maybe we need to wrap them later. So first we need a page, but we don't need a type page. We need a blog post. We see this entity or name of how it's named in if we open it, and we see then some entity type already. Here, content type is blog post and content type ID, and this is what we need to query it. We need this small thing. Oh, so and our query can be empty for our root page. So, and if we're getting data, I console log them currently, and this is all. So and now we see fetching data, and we get slug here. and use Contentful is not defined in the main page. Yeah, for sure. We don't import it currently. Okay, and now we already getting data. And hello, I'm index, and I see, hey, it's loading and fetching data, and this is really fast. So, and we get here 3 items, fields, with a body, with a webhook description, with a hero image, and so what we need to do. I don't know, maybe it's good to have a styling, or doing the styling here is self. So we already having our Figma design here, and our design means we having one featured post and a grid. So for starting, we need a component, a grid, and a grid means in our case this is a typical CSS grid. So, and we have an index here. We need a file grid.css, and we need a new file grid.js. So so we need React here and a grid. So my profile. So, and we need something like this, like grid component. We can use a material here. You can build your own grid component. It depends what you need. I don't know if we should build our own component or using styled components here. Maybe it's interesting to build a CSS CSS grid. Same here, self here, or we take one style components. Okay. For this tutorial I will go with Chakra and don't don't writing my own grid here, because then we're writing so much boilerplate code, and I don't want to do this in this tutorial here. As cd sys, okay, where are pvd? Okay, so, and I only want to add in Chakra for my own special thing. So for that I call the yarn add only in my own component. So in Chakra, to get Chakra running, we need some main Chakra file or some main Chakra thing there, and so to get this thing, I create a new directory and name it Chakra UI, and the cool thing, maybe you can change it later to your own thing, and maybe we need to rename it to a UI UI context. And then we have the possibility to replace our UI stuff later with something, but then we also need to replace the components what we're writing now or using from Chakra. But having this in a central point is maybe not a bad idea. So, and index.js and a new file UI context.js. So, and then export default Chakra yeah, let's do this Chakra UI. So, and say, oh no, const Chakra UI is equal. So, and now we pass all chatrons in it, because it's a UI wrapper, and chatrons are from type React chatrons. And I know I don't use typing here. You can use, but for the tutorial I don't know if it makes sense so much. So, and now I use the theme provider CSS reset from Chakra already, and this helps me later to get styles from Chakra. And now we need here a second container and say Chakra UI. And now we already having Chakra UI styles applied to our pages, and also some theme, etc. And this we can replace later with our own implementation of UI. But for the tutorial I save so much time if I don't writing this by my own. Oh, I got an error. Why? React is not defined. Okay. I use JSX syntax without importing React. Okay, now I'm getting a small hello, I'm index. Yeah, so now we have a UI context and next we need a card and also a grid and to showing our data. Contentful components. So let's create a card. Okay, we already having a card here, but it's component card. So okay, now we have a card here, and I want to use my card what I creating for a different tutorial already, and then describe what this card does. I have import box, image, and text link from Chakra, and use article hero images already, and article slug, article title, and article description, what we get from our data. And all what we need to do then is, if we get data here, we need to build our items and iterating over them, and this is all. So, and for this I use a box with a maximum width. A heading needs to be inserted from Chakra. The grid should be inserted from the Chakra, and response data is this what we get back from our library, and I rename it. And we need a card and import our card from card, adding an empty space there. So okay, box is not defined. Cannot read map of undefined. This means our response data is not there. We don't get any response, or our response data is empty. So to get this thing out, what happens there, I add a console .log on our response data, and then let's see what we get back, and return I do a null. So map. So I think I need to restart the watch again. And this annotation here means how our grid behaves and how many grid gap we get, and etc. To get the same behavior in CSS, you need to write many stuff. And I really like Chakra because it's small components, and you can use them. And yeah, they are really working nice. I don't find or I don't see any problem to use this. Maybe then we can also remove the flag later. So, and again, some error. Why? Read undefined method of prop. Okay, the problem is why. Oh, okay. Maybe I cannot rename response data. I need to use data then. And data is the data what we get, and data should be then a map. So and then we get the error response data is not defined. Yeah, because we need to log data. Okay, we already get some entities, and we need to iterate over items, not over data directly. So for that, I want to add data dot items dot map, and this I can remove. There we are. And now it loads also builder images. So, okay, there we get our automated webhooks. So, Okay, but now I'm here and I don't load any content from the detail side. So, and also to get this thing running, it's only some lines of code. First of all, we also need here our hook. And this is what I meant with, hey, maybe it's good to having this wrapped, or maybe it's good to have wrapped this thing. But yeah, we still have here a slug, and this slug we need to filter. For this slug we need apply a filter, because then if not we'll get all content. So we get a slug here, and also I want to do here is a box. So, and we see, hey, box we have 2 times. Okay, maybe it makes sense to moving this box one level up, and so, and also I having here a React Markdown component. So to get a React Markdown, means we need a new dependency, because we don't want to render our Markdown by ourselves. So for that I need yarn add React Markdown as well. So and now I only need to resolve this, and data, so, and here is also a Chakra UI renderer. This we also need for React Markdown, and this is a different library. So okay, now also we have this. So okay, let's start watch again. And let's see where we end. Okay, cannot read property of title of undefined. Okay, let's take a look on how we get our data here. And because we get some data, but I don't know how it looks like. So, because maybe the data reset or data field set or something like that looks differently. How the API answers us. So, and we get this array and items. Okay. And in the first item we get fields. Okay. Let's do something like this. I'm not really happy about it, but then we need to add a check data. It's not. And then we need to cover the error case as well. Page doesn't exist. So okay. So and now we get post data, and we can rename it data to post date. And get page doesn't exist. Okay, because why? We need here items as well. And here items as well. So, and too many open tabs. Okay, Chakra UI renderer is not defined. Okay, I forget to add this. Or There we are. Cool. So, and what we need next? We need an image cache, because yeah, this static loading all the time from React doesn't make so much sense to me. React image cache. So yeah, we can use some library. But I think for today it's okay. You see how it works, and yeah, it was 1 hour to go there. Hopefully it was helpful for you. What I need to do there is adding prop types, because currently I don't use prop types, and I need to documentate a little bit. If you take a look on the card page, there are also prop types. Or if you take a look on the category list, or maybe there are some prop types on CMS block. Yep. And there are also chitons, and chitons means items map. But we need we need React chitons. Prop type. But React chitons are still in React prop types are or chitons for every component available. But yeah, this is not a default component, and I don't know, maybe it makes sense to doing this here, but from my point of view, I will close the tutorial, clean up the code a little bit, and publish it on GitHub. And next is I think we should writing some tests together for it. Some snapshot tests and some things where you see how you can hook, how you can test hooks, how you can test your own code with snapshots. And this is all. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.